Hey everybody, I figure I'd get the Facebook Live started. My radio show's in 5 minutes, but the beginning of this today might be a little repetitive because, as y'all know, last Tuesday my thing never uploaded to my radio jar because I was having technical difficulties. But me and my managers figured out the microphone, so for the beginning of this, it might be a little repetitive because I'm going to introduce myself to my radio jar audience and let them know the topics, which might be good for you all so y'all can get reminded of the topics. But just keep in mind it'll be a little repetitive for the beginning. But after that, today my topic will be over daily motivation. But just keep tuned because it is going to be a little repetitive. I'm going to go over my different topics of the semester, and I'm going to answer 4 out of the 15 questions answered last time. That way my radio jar audience gets a sense of who I am. I know y'all know who I am, but I want my radio audience to know who I am too, since my microphone wasn't working last time. They couldn't get a sense of who I was. So hopefully this will work this time. Wish me good luck. I'm still getting used to this virtual studio. I wish I was on campus. And like I said, if y'all have any questions or y'all want to help me co-host, I have someone helping me co-host my suicide prevention awareness radio show, and I'm pretty sure she wanted to help me host another show. I forgot what show that one was. I think it was mental health awareness. And then this one girl also wants to help me host a domestic violence awareness show. So those 3 shows are taken up. But if y'all are interested in helping me co-host any future shows, I'll go over some topics today. I only have 9 topics picked out so far. But if you hear a topic and you'd like to help me co-host, just let me know and we can try to work something out. I don't know how it's all going to work yet with everything being virtual, if you'll be in the same room as me, or if I'll have to give you a link so you can access this virtual studio. So I'm still new to this, but thanks for tuning in. My radio show starts in 2 minutes. One minute and my show will start. All right. Alright, hello everyone. My name is Heavenly Tanner. Welcome to my Therapeutic Tuesday radio show. I'll be live on here every Tuesday from 12 to 1 o'clock. Sorry if you tried to catch me last Tuesday on Radio Jar. I was having technical difficulties. I'm still getting used to this whole virtual studio thing. So I apologize if you couldn't hear anything. For this Tuesday, I'm going to kind of do a mix in between of getting to know my show just for a little bit. But my main topic for today is going to be daily motivation. But since y'all didn't catch my last radio show, I just want to briefly go over the topics that I'll have for this semester. So, as y'all know, today I'm going to be going over daily motivation. One of my shows is going to be about suicide prevention and awareness, because if you know me, you know suicide prevention and awareness means a lot to me. I feel like everyone has a purpose, and even if you don't know that purpose, you should keep your life, because you are here for a reason. I'm also going to do radio shows about self-care routines, motivational Bible verses, tips on dealing with stress, domestic violence awareness, mental health awareness, veterans mental health awareness, and that's just only 9 right now. I have 15 radio shows this semester, so I still got to come up with more topics, but that's legit since y'all didn't get to catch it last Tuesday. I'm just going to quickly introduce myself, since I kind of did last Tuesday, but no one could hear me. One question: how do you deal with hardship? That's a very good question. I try to be a motivational person because I want others to look up to me, and I want others to try to find a light somewhere in this world, and know that everything's going to be okay. So usually I try to deal with my hardship by painting. Painting always lets my emotions out, and I love to write poems. What's my favorite song? If you're talking about a motivational song that keeps me motivated, I love Every Storm Runs Out of Rain by Gary Allan. But if you're talking about a love song, I love Do I Make You Wanna by Billy Currington. I love country music. Another question: if you had a chance to get a message across to a large group of people, what would your message be? My message would be everyone matters. Never listen to people who are negative. Always try to surround yourself with positivity, because you have a purpose to fulfill on this earth. You might not know it right now, but you belong here. You have something to do on earth. God loves you, and you are here for a reason. Alright, my last question to kind of get to know me, because I want to get started with my topic of the day, daily motivation, is where are you from? I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. Alright, so today, my topic, as you all know, is daily motivation. So, basically, I'll be going over daily motivation in general, like when you get up out of bed, or just, a normal day. I'm also going to be going over motivation, like if you're depressed, or if you're dealing with any kind of negative feelings, anxiety, stuff like that. And I'm also going to talk about daily motivation for school and work, which I really need that too, because as a college student, I could use motivation in my life. And I know a lot of people who works, who, they get up out of bed in the morning and they're like, I don't want to go to work. So this stuff is for y'all, to help try to get maybe y'all motivated, get y'all started on a routine, perhaps. So I hope this is helpful. So daily motivation in general, I'm going to talk about my daily motivation, what helps get me out of bed. So, I'm usually never a morning person. Only reason I'm a morning person now is I have morning classes, because I like getting my stuff done early in the morning. That way I can do my homework and my studying in the afternoon, and it just works out better for myself. But I also have values. Like when I wake up in the morning, what helps get me motivated is knowing that I have something to do. So with my college classes, I know that I need to do my college classes so I can get my degree someday, so I can be a psychologist and a motivational speaker and to help people. So my values is I love to help people. I love to spread the love. Every day I open my eyes, I feel like God gave me another day to live, another gift. Actually, 2 gifts. 2 gifts is your eyes. I always heard that. Whenever you wake up in the morning, you open 2 gifts, and that's your eyes. That's always been pretty inspiring to me. But God gave you another day to live. So I just try to live out my values. I know I want to help people, and I know I want to spread the love. So I try to be positive when I get up. Another thing that helps motivate me is I know my purpose. Um, I know my purpose is to go out there and just to help people, try to be a light into a dark life, because that's what God would want me to do. He would want me to be a light into a dark life, or this dark generation. We need more motivation, we need more light, we need more positivity, and we need less negativity, because that's what's bringing us down. All the negative things on the news, all the negative things on Facebook, social media, just everywhere you go, there's something negative. But if you start looking for the light, if you start looking for the positive things in life, then we could all probably be a little more motivated and a little more happier. But like I said, it is good to know what's going on in the world around us. But I feel like we could all use more positivity in our lives. Next, I'm going to go over life mottos. Just quotes. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I like looking up motivational quotes, and then I like thinking about it, and then it inspires me to write my poems, which I sometimes share, sometimes not. Sometimes they're just a little personal. But one of the life mottos that I found that I really like is, you didn't come this far to only come this far. And this really speaks to me because I've been through a lot during my young life. And I know my mom always told me that no matter how much you go through, it's only to make you stronger. So I try to live by her saying, everything you go through makes you stronger. What God puts you through, He wouldn't put anything on you that you couldn't handle, which I sometimes find that hard to believe because I've been having a rough couple of years. So sometimes I don't necessarily believe that, but if you read your Bible and you listen to your pastor and you go to church and all that stuff, I guess God is always there for you. You just got to have a strong amount of faith, and if your faith is running low, you need to rely on other people's faiths to help push you up a little bit. So I just try to remember, I didn't come this far to only come this far. I didn't go through all the hardships that I did to just quit right then. I got to use the hardships that I've been through to help build myself into a stronger woman and to help build other people up into stronger people. Another life motto is, you are confined by the walls you build yourself. And I feel like that's very true because before I started this radio show, y'all know me, I always wanted to be a motivational speaker. Even though I'm very shy around crowds, I was like, I want to be able to get out there someday and motivate people. So when I heard about Horizon Radio at my college, I was like, wow, I could really, put my speeches on here and maybe reach out to an audience and possibly build up opportunities to go out there in the world and actually do my dream, become a motivational speaker. But at first, it took me 2 months to talk to the radio manager. I was like, no, I'm so shy. I can't do it. And see, that right there is an example. I confined myself by the walls I built in front of myself. So I started talking to my friends, and they was like, you have potential to be a motivational speaker. You need to put yourself out there. And I was like, I don't know. And we started talking about that life motto. You are only confined by the walls that you build yourself. And I was like, well, I need to start destroying these walls so I can get to another spot that I want to be in life. So I went into the radio station, and that's back when Matt was my radio manager. And I was talking to him about my YouTube channel and the stuff that I want to do in life. And he was like, well, the radio station would be a perfect, fit for you. And I was like, well, how do I get started? And, we started talking, and that's how I got my foot in the door. All right. 1 second, everybody. All right, I'm back on the air. I guess I forgot to push autoplay on off, so a commercial came up. But anyway, sorry about that. My basic thing I was saying is you're only confined by the walls that you build yourself. So I put my foot in the door, and last semester I had this radio show, which I was actually able to do on campus. It was called Motivational Mondays. But due to my changing schedule this semester, I ended up having to move my radio show on Tuesdays, which is now called Therapeutic Tuesdays. So that's very true. Also, another life motto is be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. So whenever you're going down the street, always try to compliment someone. Or if you see someone having a bad day, try to uplift them. You never know what someone's going through. Someone could have an easy smile on their face, but they could be dealing with a lot behind closed doors. So I always try to put a smile on someone's face. That's one of my dad's goals that he taught me is he loves to make people smile. If he can make one person smile, he said his day is a success. So that inspires me to go out there and help someone smile too. Because like the life motto said, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. You never know what someone is going through. So if you can just say something nice to them, just know how much better their day might be. They can go on through their day thinking, oh, she thinks I'm pretty, or she likes my jacket, or she likes my hair, just something that uplifts this generation, because we need more of that. This last life motto I'm going to talk about is one of my most favorite life mottos ever. This is what I live by. And it comes from the song, Every Storm Runs Out of Rain. Every storm runs out of rain, just like every night turns into day. Every heartache will eventually fade away. And as cliche as that sounds, it's true. Now, I do have depression, and I am dealing with grief, and some days it is hard, but I try to look to God to help me get through these hard times. I try to rely on my family to help, when you're around family, you feel the love. I try to reach out to my friends and just have a sense of social support. That's my motivation. My daily motivation is sometimes you just have to rely on social support. Now, they do say that sometimes the only person you got is yourself. Some people believe that. But I feel like you're never alone, because the big man upstairs, God, is always, always there for you. You might not feel it, you might not think it, but he's always there right beside you. You just have to build your faith up. And like I said earlier, if you don't have that faith, you need to try to rely on other people's faiths to pray for you to help build your faith up. But, it's true. Every storm does run out of rain, at least for some parts. Eventually, at night it's dark, but the next morning the sun comes up, the sunrise. So there's always something positive to look forward to the next day, the next hour. You just have to be on the outlook for that positivity. If you're always on the outlook for negativity, then that's all you're going to find is negativity, because it's everywhere. You got to try to find the glimmers of light into your life. Alright, next, I'm going to talk about how mental health should be your number one priority. Of course, work needs to be a priority, because you need to go to work to put food on the table. You need to go to work so you can pay your bills. But you always got to put yourself first, too. Your mental health matters, because if your mental health is in a dark place, then you're not going to be able to do nothing that day. And if you can't do nothing that day, then you're not motivated. So to try to build up your daily motivation, you always need to put your mental health first. And how you can do that is you can try to do something for yourself that day. So, in life, we always get busy with the stuff that we gotta do. Whether you have kids, you gotta raise your kids. Or like for me, I don't have kids, but I got college. So I gotta focus on my college work. I gotta focus on homework, studying. And that's all I've been doing the past few days. But like my dad said, eventually you're going to get burned out on these day-to-day have-to-do activities, whether it's raising your kids, going to work, paying your bills, just anything that's not really a burden. It's just stuff that you got to do in life. So try to take time for yourself. Like, if you like to paint, try to take time to paint. If you like to go for a walk, try to go for a walk. Try to do things that help uplift you so you don't get burned out on your have-to activities. Next, I'm going to talk about daily motivation when you have depression. So, when you have depression, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. Whenever it's hard to get out of bed, you feel like you can't accomplish nothing that day. You feel like there's no purpose to keep going on. Try to have a small routine. Whenever you have depression, people's quick to say, oh, you're just lazy or you're just cranky. Well, you're not lazy or you're not cranky. You just have to build up a small routine, whether it's getting out of bed, changing out of your pajamas into clothes, because sometimes that's a goal for some people. Some people just lays in bed all day because they don't have the energy to get up. Well, try to get up, put some clothes on, before you put your clothes on, try to get a shower, because I know whenever I take a shower, it relieves me, and it kind of gives me a better sense of direction, a better sense of mind. That's what helps me. Then put on some clothes, try to brush your teeth, wash your face, and that's a small routine. So even if you do those 3 small things and then you just go back and watch TV, you did something for today. Good job. I know it might sound crazy because, it's small things to do, but whenever you have depression, those small things means a lot. At least you got out of bed, at least you're breathing, and at least you did something for yourself. But once you start knowing, okay, I got a little routine set, you can start adding more stuff, like a healthy diet, for example. Sometimes fruit can help, like with the chemicals in your brain. I did research on this. Sometimes eating fruit helps make you feel better, a salad. Or, I'm going to say, if you haven't came that far yet into establishing that routine, if you have depression, just try your comfort foods, like if you just want to eat a bag of chips, just try something that comforts you. Keep adding stuff to your routine until, you might not defeat depression, but you'll kind of occupy your mind away from that. But another thing, sometimes you do need to talk to people. So never feel like you're alone, because you're never alone. So speaking on that topic, you're never alone, every show I'm going to try to remember to give y'all the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, because sometimes you feel like you're alone and sometimes you feel like you got no one to talk to, but you do got someone to talk to. So if you're ever in a rocky position and you just need to talk to someone, here's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 800-273-8255. I'll repeat that again, 800-273-8255. It's always important to know that there's someone there for you. Whether it's calling the national hotline, getting down on your hands and knees and praying to the good Lord and asking Him, God, I need you to take this worry out of my life. I need you to take this pain out of my heart. There's always someone listening to you. You just have to find your social support system, remember the hotline, and also remember prayers always work. They might not get answered right then, but your prayers will always be answered. Alright, next on daily motivation when you have depression, try to find yourself a hobby. There's so many hobbies out there, like sports, like you're outdoors, and whenever you get fresh air, it gives you peace of mind. Maybe you're not athletic and maybe you don't like sports. I know I don't really play sports. Maybe you can try to paint. I know painting helps me. Or maybe you can draw. You can write poems. There's so many hobbies out there that you can do. I know me and someone else was talking the other day, and this hobby might seem out there, but some people like doing cosplay. So instead of waiting until Halloween to dress up, they like doing dress up just every day, which there's nothing wrong with that. If it's a hobby that keeps you going, do it. Some hobbies help you get out of depression. Some hobbies help you clear your mind. Just try to find something to help you just relieve yourself, relieve the stress in your life, and just distract your mind from whatever might be hurting you. Um, and I know some people, gaming is a hobby. So, get some Minecraft, some Grand Theft Auto. I'm not a big gamer, but, go out and try to do some gaming. Um, Also, I mentioned this before, so some daily motivation when you have depression. I already mentioned small goals. It doesn't have to be anything big. I mean, getting out of bed is a goal because some people don't even get out of bed because, we're confined by depression around us. Um, go for a walk, pet your animal, feed your animal, watch some TV. Some small goals to keep you going. Go to church, get your faith built back up, get your can't talk today. Get your spirituality built up. Just something small so you can keep going in your day-to-day life. Alright, next I'm going to talk about daily motivations for school and work. So this is something I need to remember too, being a college student. So sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? Am I doing okay? I gotta remember my strengths. So whether you're a college student, high school student, a worker, just whatever you have to do in your day-to-day life, remember your strengths. So for me, I know that I'm a good writer, so I try to say, okay, I know that I'm doing good in college and I can motivate myself because I know I'm a good writer. I write good papers. I do good research studies since I'm a psychology student. I try to focus on my strengths rather than my weaknesses. Now, let me also point out, you do need to focus on your weaknesses because that's the only way you get better. So like math, for an example. Thank God I don't have to take math for the next 4 years because I took care of that my freshman year. And I hate math. I'm horrible at it. But, don't try to ignore your weaknesses because you'll never get a little better at it. You might not be 100% at it, but sometimes you do need to focus on your weaknesses. But for the daily motivation, just remember your strengths. Remember what you're good at school, at your work, at your day-to-day activities. Also, remember your goals. So, my goal is to get a college degree. So that motivates me day to day. I know that I need to show up on time, even though I don't have to go on campus. I need to, show up on time for my Zoom to Zoom chats with my other classmates. I know I got to turn in work on time. I know that I have to do these small goals and sometimes big goals to get to my college degree. And that motivates me because one day I can use my college degree to go out there and help uplift this generation from the darkness and from the coldness that sometimes life brings us. Also, at school and work, it's important to have social groups. And what I mean by this is friends that you can talk to. Which this semester, it was kind of hard making friends because we're online. And sometimes I think I make friends better in person than I do online. But just reach out to someone. You think someone looks cool. We had this platform at IUS called Canvas. You think someone looks cool, you read their bio, just say, hey, what's up? And our college professors always tells us to get each other's numbers and emails because let's say one day you're late for class or something pops up and you can't come to class. You'll have someone that will help you, give you the notes, give you the work for today, and just help you understand what happened that day. So build yourself a social group. And when this pandemic, I guess, is finally over or it gets calmed down, you can use that social group and go get a baked potato. I know last semester, me and my friend, we loved going to the cafeteria and getting a baked potato. Right after English class, we looked at each other and we was like, you gonna go get that baked potato? And we... Okay then. Sorry about that. I'm back on live. Okay. So, anyways, last semester, me and Connie, we would go get a baked potato after English class, and it helped us unwind, and it helped build my motivation up too, because I had a class afterwards, and, just talking to her about, just day-to-day stuff, and just, goof off a little bit. It helped give me a peace of mind and motivate myself to get ready for my next class. But if you're at work, it's good to build social groups because sometimes it helps the workday go by faster. If you have a coworker that's funny, someone that you can talk to at lunch break or dinner break, whatever shift you might work, it's always good to have a social group because it makes everything better. It makes you want to motivate yourself to continue going on with the day so you can finish your day. Also, just remember the purpose of the school, the work, whatever you're doing. Just remember the purpose. If you're at work, you're trying to grind to make that bread. You're trying to grind to make that money. Whenever you're doing school, you're there for a purpose. Whether you're in high school, you're trying to work so you can get your high school diploma so you can either go out into the workforce or you can go out into college. Or if you're in college, we're all striving towards the same goal. We're all trying to get a college degree. We might not be trying to get a college degree in the same subject matter. Just like I have many college friends who, I'm psychology, but they might be a business major, one might be a biology major, one's an education major. We're all striving to get the same goal, though. We're all trying to get that degree so we can fulfill our dream career and what we want to do in life. We're all striving to try to make money so we all succeed in life, because without money, you can't put food on your table. You can't live in a house. It's important that, we don't really realize how similar a lot of our goals is, If you're in school, we're trying to get that degree. If you're at work, we're all just trying to make money. So with that being said, with daily motivation, just always be there for each other. Just always be there for each other. Alright, next, I have some motivational poems that I like to read. I don't know if anyone likes poems as much as I do, but I especially love when poems rhyme. So this poem is called Don't Quit. When things go wrong, as sometimes they will, when the roads are trudging, seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when all is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Success is a failure, turned inside out, the silver on the clouds of doubt, and you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things go wrong that you must not quit. That's very inspirational to me because it's true. Whenever things go wrong, everyone's always quick to quit. And you can't do that. Sometimes when things go wrong, it's right before things get right. Like when there's a thunderstorm, eventually the sun will shine again. And that's just a metaphor of we got to keep pushing no matter what happens. We just got to keep pushing. Keep motivating each other in life. Alright, so for my radio show, people on Facebook Live may not be able to hear this, but a lot of people been asking me to play motivational songs, and that's what helps engage my audience on Radio Jar, because sometimes, let's face it, you don't want to just sit there and listen to your co-host. You want to listen to some music too. So let's see what I can pull up here. I might just leave that alone because I don't want to mess up my radio show. Oh, okay, that's what I'm doing. You have to add items in Station's library. Um, I'll probably just leave that alone for today. Um, yeah, because last Tuesday, my microphone wasn't even on. I thought it was, but it wasn't. So I don't want to mess this up. So I'll just get back to daily motivation. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. I was going to try to play some music for my radio jar audience because, like I said, you don't want to have to listen to me for the whole hour. But I also don't want to mess this up and then no one be able to hear me either. Um, so, anyways, back to daily motivation. I feel like it's important, like day-to-day motivation. You need to have something to look forward to. So, what I look forward to, as crazy as this may sound with me being a college student, I look forward to 2 classes. I look forward to my Spanish class and my cultural psychology class. I love learning new languages and getting to know new cultures around the world. And with this cultural psychology class, it helps me develop a new lens. So instead of looking at things in a normal psychological way, I can start looking at things a cross-cultural way. Because a lot of studies we do over here, like remember when you was in high school and we got a bunch of surveys about, well, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? In your motivation, are you allowed to mention your faith, or is that a no-no in this class? Oh, yes, you can mention faith. I've been talking about God and my faith and how, like, if your faith is running low, sometimes you just gotta pray and have other people, like, when other people pray, have them try to help lift your faith back up too, try to refuel that light that Brother Clay talks about all the time. So that's not a no-no. At least no one in my college thing has told me you can't talk about God or faith. They haven't told me that yet. So hopefully they won't do that. Because I feel like that's important. In this day-to-day life, you gotta have something that lifts you up. And I feel like God lifts you up. You don't have to be religious or nothing. But I feel like you do, like, okay, I lost my train of thought. So, people says you don't have to be religious, but I feel like you got to look forward to something. Because if you don't look forward to something, then, to me, there's no hope. Brother Clay always says that if you don't have God, if you're not reborn again in the Spirit of God, then there's no hope. So that's what keeps me going every day is learning about the good Lord. But again, I try not to push my beliefs onto anybody. But just know I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God, and God does give me my motivation day to day, even to do this. Alrighty, so it's important for day-to-day motivation to have self-care routines. So I'm going to have a whole radio show based on self-care routines. So I'm not going to get too caught up in self-routines right now, but it does kind of tie in with day-to-day motivation. So my, I guess, self-care routine, so I get up every morning and I wash my face because it just helps refresh me. And then I hop in the shower. I get some breakfast because, trust me, if I don't, it's not good. I gotta eat when I get up, because if I don't eat, I'm not motivated. So food is one of my other sources of motivation to keep me going. Gotta have breakfast. And then basically, self-care, sometimes look to make sure if your fingernails needs to be cut, cut that. Just keep up on, self-care stuff. I was supposed to be doing a whole radio show dedicated to this, where I do a bunch of research, and I'll give you more of an insight of my day-to-day self-care routines. My self-care routines change almost every day. Because sometimes every day you might need a different goal to achieve. Alright, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today for my motivational radio show. Next week, I will be talking about suicide prevention and awareness. I will have a co-host with me, Michaela Lamy. If she's watching, I just gave you a shout out. She's supposed to be doing this radio show with me. We're going to have a bunch of tips on, suicide prevention and awareness, what to watch out, because sometimes there is warning signs, and don't feel bad because sometimes there's no warning signs. I know this might be a trigger warning, so before I upload this, I'll put a star in the caption and say trigger warning, because I don't want to trigger nobody. But we'll have a bunch of statistics, a bunch of facts. We'll have hotline numbers. There's even numbers nowadays where you can text someone, because sometimes you just don't want to talk on the phone. Sometimes people's better with texting. I know I am. I'm better with texting. So we'll give you all that information, and we'll try to put a light into your life next Tuesday. So keep tuned, and thank you, everybody, for watching my radio show.